everyone, so welcome to Weekend Box Office, where it looks like Wakanda Forever has grabbed #1 spot once again at domestic market, and this is his 5th weekend in a row. This movie, it is #1, and looks like this movie, I probably thinking this is the last week for #1 spot at the domestic market, because the next week is the huge movie is coming out called The Way of Water. Although I always thought Wakanda Forever will have 5 weeks to go on, make all this money it makes. So looks like it is the third highest grossing domestic movie for 2022, which is quite an achievement for this movie. Although I thought this movie will make that $450 million to 500, because the first movie was so popular. But looks like at this point it still could, I suppose, cross that $550 million. But I always knew it's gonna cross Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, a box office number. Although it is not doing so good at the international market. Overall, this movie, it is sitting and worldwide market is $760 million. And this movie, it's almost about to pass, the Batman movie's overall box office number. So if you are thinking why this movie didn't do as good as the first one, first of all, doing this number without the lead actor, it is a huge achievement. Although many people say all this thing about this movie, like, female centric, not this and that, slow-mo. I think the biggest problem for this movie was this movie's rewatchability. Like, it isn't huge. Like, the normal audience who saw this movie once, they're like, oh, this movie was good, I don't need to see it again, because this is one of those movies. Because about the first Black Panther movie, I heard so many people saw that movie like 8-9 times. This one is like, many people are like, oh, I saw it 2 times is enough, or 1 time is enough. I don't actually know how many people saw this movie 3 times, but I did hear some people saw it 2 times, maybe 3 times also I heard, not like 8-9 times like the first one, because that is how the Top Gun Maverick is the biggest movie of the year, because like this movie some people saw Top Gun Maverick 9-10 times or 10 times, and these people, they are going to theater and watching it over and over because they like it so much. Some movies are made for theater, you go to theater and watch it and you enjoy it. Although Wakanda Forever, still I really like this movie a lot. And at first when it was coming out, it's a female centric action movie. Although I thought at first maybe it will not do that good, but it did do really good, honestly. Although this movie can thank, according to Hollywood Reporter, this movie, like this year, overall box office number is down from last year, probably because there isn't many movies coming out because of the pandemic. Many movies production were stopped, and maybe movies got delayed. So now this year there aren't many blockbuster movies. Even though they will come out, I don't think they could have made money anyway. These are the movie, I think people saw the trailer and they like check mark the box, oh, I have to see it. So I do think next week the Avatar, The Way of Water could be huge hit. At this point, I do think it's possible this movie will be really huge hit. Then again, I don't know. Once the review embargo lift for this movie, I guess we'll have a solid idea how this movie is. That being said, I think Wakanda Forever did really well overall box office. I don't know if it could ever make $1 billion, but it's still making this much money. It's pretty amazing. I think Disney, if they made, Winston Duke or M'Baku, if they gave him, some people think that if they gave him bigger role in this movie could have been a little bit more successful. Maybe it could actually. I do think that. But still this movie, it is like Disney can thank to this. They did introduce this huge character named Namor. People went out and support this movie because of Namor. I felt like people who are angry at this movie, but still they wanted to see Namor, and I think it was really, like, they did good job with his character. People are happy with overall Namor's character arc, and that's my thought on this weekend box office. Let me know in the comment what do you think about this number, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget my other videos on other topics. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe. Until I see you next time, please take care.